to another live podcast. Oh no, it's not live, is it? That was a good start, wasn't it?
That's a right
Right, I'll start
podcast to
again.
start with.
Well, welcome to another one of our lovely chats with myself and Ron. Today is what's the day? 4th of December? Can you believe we're in December, Ron?
I know.
Jeez. Is it the
Yeah.
4th?
Another
How
year
are
gone.
you, my dear? How are you? You looking good?
Yeah, and so are you, sweetheart. Yes, this is the fifth one I think we're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
How
gone
fast
quick,
is
haven't they?
time flying?
Yeah.
How fast is time flying?
When we're going to get into the golden age? That's a biggie.
Tomorrow?
Might have been last
Christmas
week,
Day?
but we missed it.
Well, yeah,
I
we might be time traveling, so I'll meet you there last Thursday.
Yeah. By the way, how do you fancy a date for last week?
What a wonky date. Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, we got to
So,
have a laugh. Actually, I'm going to make a prediction here. It's been on my mind, and I don't think I'll be far wrong on this one. They talk about the golden age when all the crap's out the way, all the deep state and the dark cabal are finished. I'm going to go for 2026. All the research I've done, everything I've looked at, I think that's going to be the date. I know in our soul group and our soul family, it's going to upset quite a few people because we've got another 2 years probably of horrendous crap because they're going
mm,
to throw everything at us. But I think 2026 will be full on. I think by that time we'll be in a totally different world.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think we're kind of slipping in between timelines anyway, and like there's chaos all around us, but I think people like us are choosing not to be a part of it. So, we were talking about this last night with Neil and Kirsty. Like, if you choose to not get involved or be absorbed in the chaos around you, then you are literally on a different timeline or in a different place. But like, obviously, we have to come down to 3D reality because we're still involved in it, like work wise and going out shopping and seeing all the stuff going on like that. But there's like a separation right now of people who are living in that fear, with the BBC News and mainstream media and all this nonsense and noise about this new thing being developed in China, which, may I add, is actually a side effect of a medical procedure that a lot of people have had, which is very interesting when you think about it. So we've been here before. We've been here before, and people have, realized the lies that have been told the last time. Let's just hope that there's going to be people that fall for it, but let's hope this time round there'll be less people that fall for it and less compliance with the nonsense. Um,
I
but yeah,
totally, I totally agree with that, Lizzie, because people, it's now time. It's now or never. People have got to wake up. They've got
mm,
to see the corruption that's going on in the world. And me personally, and I think the same for you as well, I'm a lot happier by not buying newspapers. I haven't bought any for months and months. Don't watch any news because most of it is crap. It's all lies. It's all CGI,
mm,
computer
yeah,
graphic imaging, for those who don't know what CGI is. And it's all lies. And, I know it's sad that people have lost their lives, women and children in Gaza and in Ukraine. I don't say it's not happening, but it's all fear based, all fear mongering. And a lot of it, where it's been photographed, it's all bombed out buildings from the Iraq War.
yeah,
There's so much that we see on television that can you really believe any of it? And you're better off without it.
yeah. But unfortunately, like it isn't a case of that there is no war going on. Like obviously we know there's sadly so many lives being destroyed, but it's the actual lies behind it. So, you know, people get their arse in their hands thinking that we're denying the fact that kids and women and children, men, well, men, everyone are dying out there. That's not what we're arguing, but it's the people behind the actual war itself is where the conflict is, because people aren't quite understanding what's really going on. Like, they can't comprehend that our government would want to hurt us the way they have. So
That's,
they can't comprehend that I want to be careful with my words, but in other countries that their governments would be so monstrous. But unfortunately they are. They kill their own people. And, you know, for risk of getting banned off YouTube, I think that I'll leave it at that. But yeah, it's an interesting time. Like, as for the golden age, I really do believe that, like, we can manifest this ourselves. Like, people who were sat at home complaining about waiting for this, waiting for that, or waiting for Jesus to come and save them, or the white hats to do their jobs. Like, in the meantime, what are you doing? What, not you, Ron, personally, but people at home, what are you doing? Are you sitting back watching the telly, waiting for somebody to come and knock on your door and, like, give you money, or wipe your debts off, and all this RV business and stuff like that? Like, what are you actually doing right now? I mean, I've just continued my day to day life as not as normal, but in a way that keeps me sane and keeps my family sane and safe and happy. I'm not gonna fall for any of this. One day we'll be rich. One day we'll have the house of our dreams. I think if we want all that, we either work for it or manifest it, rather than just sitting at home and complaining about it, because that is just going to bring the bad vibration that they so want to loose off, if you know what I'm saying. Because this is what they want. If enough of us aren't going to comply to all that and put some music on and be jolly and happy and raise your vibe, they can't touch us. And that's as simple as that. And the same with, big pharma. And, I work for the NHS, so I'm going to be very careful what I say, but I'm quite open about it in work, that these drugs are killing people. They're not helping people. I mean, touch wood, I haven't had a single sniffle or cold since early 2020. And I haven't taken a single medication other than the capsules that I take, which are amazing. I'll put a link in that below so that people can have a look at that. However, we can all heal ourselves. And this is where the education needs to come in as well, because people don't know it. If they don't know it, they can't learn it. If they can't learn it, they can't treat themselves. And, we don't need all that synthetic rubbish in our bodies.
I tell you what's interesting, you talking about that. Every year I have a yearly checkup, obviously because of my age, and my cholesterol apparently is reasonably high. When I was working, although I'm only a little guy, well, you've met me, I'm not 18 stone. I haven't got a great big beer gut. I haven't got
No.
high blood pressure. And yet my cholesterol for many years has been 6.1.
Mm.
Now, it's only last week I had a blood test. And before I even had the blood test, young lady, NHS, don't think she was a proper doctor, but obviously training, and she does the blood test. I would guess she'd be about 24, 25. And straight away, before she even took the blood sample, she said, you need to think about going on statins. And I thought, yeah, here we go again, pushing old drugs again, because that's what they're told to do. The doctors are told, most of, I can't prove this, but I think most of their fees are paid by the drug foundations, and we know who's at the top of the tree on that one. And all they want to do is push drugs on you. Now, the research I've done, people on statins, when you're taking them over a period of 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, you're more likely to develop dementia. Because if your cholesterol's too low, I think the average is 4.7, I think, not sure.
Yeah.
6.1 is a little high, but then it runs in families. I don't know what my parents were because they were never tested, but apparently it's not about your size, it's about your blood type and your family heritage.
Mm.
Well, the last thing I want to do is go on statins. They sent me a
No.
letter and they advised me to go on it, but I don't buy into, well, I'm going to be blunt here. I don't buy into the bullshit because all they want to
Yeah.
do is push drugs on you, and eventually you'll have side effects.
Mm.
And there's no way I would end up with dementia.
Yeah.
And I'm not
I,
going to
I,
buy into it.
I think a lot of people are waking up to the statin thing because there actually has been a lot of stuff going on with the mainstream media. I've not seen it. However, 6.1 as a cholesterol doesn't scream alarm bells to me. And who says what is normal anyway? You
Yeah.
know, I heard a story recently from a friend of mine who a friend of hers has had two heart attacks, and they put him on statins. Anyway, he came off the statins because he didn't want to be on them. He started taking the capsules that I keep banging on about. But he started taking those and came off the statins, and his blood work came back after quite a few months, absolutely perfect. So that was without the medical treatment. That was just purely with the fruits and veggies capsules because they are just raw nutrients, 30 fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and that's all we need to level out our body.
Mm.
It's just we need the nutrients. Obviously, we're not getting that from fruits and vegetables because we're being poisoned. It's being like sprayed with pesticides and God knows what. And did you know, Ron, that to get the nutrients from an orange, in the year 2000, one orange, now in the year 2023, you'd need 17 oranges to get the same nutrients from one orange.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise
17. I mean, it's unbelievable. We can't possibly get the nutrients we need from. But anyway, I'm digressing with that. But it's and you go on a statin and then you need something else because you're getting another problem and you're getting I mean, I see it all the time. I work in the NHS, I type the letters, and sometimes the patient's treatment goes on to 2 pages, and you just think, how did this poor person start off? Did they go in with like a little bit of a, I don't know, chest pain or high blood pressure, and then they were put on this pill? How have they come to this? I thought we were supposed to make people better.
If you think about it, I won't mention this lady's name because we're on YouTube, but you know who she is, a beautiful Scottish lady. And look at the state she was in with all those drugs they were pumping into her. She was a mess. And I don't think she'd be here now if they kept pumping all them drugs into her. And look how jolly and how happy she is. She's lost weight. She looks good. She looks young. And it's an example to all of us. I'm not saying with some people, if you need to be on medication, fair enough. It's everybody's choice. But to me, personally, I wouldn't touch drugs with a barge pole.
Yeah.
They're toxic. There's always side effects. And my honest opinion, I know it sounds cynical, but I think the pharmaceutical drug companies, all they want to do is pump you full of drugs, kill you slowly. They can't kill you straight away because there's no money in it. They kill you slowly while they're making billions. Because if you look at all the big drug companies, AstraZeneca, many others, they are worth billions.
Yeah.
And are we, well, as a collective, not only this country, but the whole world, I think we're iller now than we have been for many, many years.
We've
Look
got
at
the
the
mass.
cancer rates that's gone up. Look at the
Yeah,
heart
it's just
disease. Everything has gone through the roof.
yeah, I was just gonna say that. And not only have the cancers increased dramatically, like we're getting cancers at stage 4, like that progressive, that is being diagnosed at late stage. And Lucy was talking about this on an Instagram last night, interestingly enough, and she was saying that although this isn't a cure, this will help you get a start on, putting your body in an alkaline state rather than acidic, simply by taking half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda Now, this isn't medical advice, so please don't like, I don't want anybody to sue me, but bicarbonate of soda, as long as it's, the edible version, in distilled water or filtered water, not your tap water, make sure it's clean water. Every morning, just in a little pot of water, every morning and every night. And that'll help your body each morning and each night to get into an alkaline state, because we're feeding our bodies full of crap, basically.
Yeah.
And everything that, and cancer is just feeding off an acidic state of being. So that's a good start. I mean, Lucy knows lots of people that have cured themselves from cancer. It's incredible when you hear the stories. Now, I'm not saying that, I thank God and touch wood, I've never been in that situation, but I can understand that if somebody sat me down and said, oh, you've got 6 months to live, or you need this operation, or you need chemo, I can imagine that being sat in a chair being told that the first thing you're going to do is lean on the doctors to help you in any way that they can, because you trust in them. I mean, I know a lot better now, and I certainly wouldn't go down that route personally. However, when the more consciousness that people have got on this, the more people are going to try and go down that route, because like life is so precious. We weren't put here just to be poisoned to death and die. That's not how it works. Like, we weren't put here to be slaves and to be miserable all our lives. We're divine souls. Like, we deserve to do what makes our souls sing. We weren't put here for that. We were put here for a very special reason. I'm going off on a tangent again here, Ron. I do apologise.
It's all right, just go for it. It's just nice to listen to you, because it's always me waffling on, and I think it's nice just to sit here and soak it up and enjoy it, because we're both on the same hymn sheet, aren't we? You
Yeah,
know,
we are. It's
two
interesting.
bodies, one soul.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, I tell you what else has been happening. So, like, to the point where I just can't even comprehend it. That the synchronicities are happening like every sort of 5, 10 minutes. It used to be once a week, once a day. Now it's just insane. Like, I'll be talking to somebody about something, and something will pop up on my phone, and it's not the phone listening to me. It's on Telegram or something like that, And I'm like, what? Or I'll talk about something, and then my daughter will come home and talk about the same thing. And I'm like, whoa, 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 what is going on? Like, and then it's constant, and it's it's almost unbelievable. Like, if I wrote it all down and showed people, they'd be like, all right, love, all right. But it's that, like, the last few weeks has just been, it's almost like we're wobbling in different, like, I don't know, it's really weird. But it's almost like we're in tune with each other and telepathic. Like, I could I could type something on a webinar, and then the person whose webinar it is will say it at exactly the same time. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so weird.
Synchronicity is an amazing thing. I think also, going off on another tangent, I think we are now in the process of flipping in and out of timelines.
Yeah, we are.
And since I've been part of our soul group and our soul family, it's almost like the people I used to know and still know them, they're still good friends, and I've known them a very long time, but I'm not in their world anymore. I just can't relate to them. And they probably feel the same about me. They've done
Yeah,
nothing wrong. There's no disharmony. We're just in different time bands. And I
yeah,
think that's going to get even worse. I think, well, if you go back to biblical text, it keeps saying, many will be called, but few will be chosen.
mm,
And I will mention Kent Dunn, because he done his last radio show last week. And
yeah,
he's saying probably somewhere between 22 and 26%, that's a low figure, are only going to make it into the fourth or fifth dimension.
yeah.
When I look around me and I see people and I see what's going on and their mindset, I think to myself, God help us. And it's
It's
sad.
interesting.
It is sad, because
Yeah,
I try to love everybody. I try to look after everybody, but they're just not with us.
no,
And
that's
it's
it.
almost like they're in a different world now. And I think
Yeah.
when this split comes,
Mm.
something that a guy said 25 probably years ago. Alfred Webermont lives in Canada, and he said the earth will split in two energetically. It don't mean the earth's going to be cut in half. It will split, and we'll be on different timelines. The old 3D earth will still carry on, I think. We'll still be having the destruction. There'll be more death, more destruction, more wars, more people dying with disease. But those that go into the new timeline, this is where the golden age is, and it is in the fourth and fifth dimension, and it's a consciousness level. And something I read the other day which blew me away, the Garden of Eden still exists, and it's beautiful, and it's like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. They still exist, and they're somewhere in between Iraq and Syria in the desert, but it's on another overtone. In 3D, it's just pure desert, but on that other overtone, it still exists.
That's
So
interesting.
where we keep jumping timelines, I know it sounds weird, but sometimes I lose something, I can't find it. I hunt the house out for it, and all of a sudden it reappears again. And I think, well, it must have been there all along. And going
No,
back,
that's your spirit. That's your spirit guides playing tricks on you. That is.
yeah, keep hiding things.
Yeah.
No, I
Um,
remember 30 odd years ago now, a guy called Drumbelow Melchizedek, Flower of Life.
for
And
what?
I know I've mentioned him before.
Can
The
you say that
Flower,
name again, please, Ron? Can you say that name again?
yeah, Drumbelow Melchizedek.
Wow.
There is a level of Melchizedek consciousness, and that
Wow.
goes into Metatron's cube, because you know the
Oh,
platonic solids, that comes into sacred geometry. I'm not an expert on that, believe you me. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that one.
you're coming up with some very good, long, complicated words. I'm liking it. How do you spell that guy's name? Do
Oh
you
God
know?
Almighty!
Oh no, don't worry, don't worry. In fact,
I'll have a go. Melchizedek.
oh,
M
it's
is
N.
Melchizedek.
Yeah.
Melchizedek.
Well, lovely. I'm gonna look that up. Going
Yeah,
back to
Drumbelow.
about the different timelines and like how, there's people out there, that you try and send your love. Like this is quite interesting because in work, I used to say to my good friend Natalie, like certain people in our office, when I'm talking or trying to show them something, they'll start engaging with me, but then switch away and start talking to someone else, right? And when I first told her, she was like, "Oh, you're probably just being sensitive." Like she was like, "Oh, really?" But now she's actually witnessed it with her own eyes. Like one
Yeah.
of the girls was chatting away, and every time I spoke, she'd start speaking to Natalie. And that was like, "Oh my God, Liz." She went, "How did you not say anything? How did you?" She said, "I really, really noticed it." And I said, "Nat, I'm used to it now. They just don't hear me. They don't, and there's nothing, no malice. And I send them love, but there's no malice from coming from them. It's frustrating. And my inner child wants to go, "Why aren't you listening to me?" And my ego's going, "No one wants to listen to you." But I know now, and it happens so often. But actually, somebody's witnessed it, which is really interesting because
So
that means
it's not your issue, is it? If somebody else has seen it, I know when your inner child doesn't feel loved and people ignore us, we get hurt because we haven't dealt with it on the inside. But when you nurture your inner child and you learn to love it, yeah, that's
I
what it's
am
all
dealing
about.
with it. I'm halfway through my self-love club year. And thank you to Lucy. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely.
And when people ignore you and don't want to talk to you, it doesn't matter because there's enough love within you that sustains you, nourishes you. It's hard work. Sometimes it can take a whole lifetime. It took me
Yeah.
40 odd years to heal myself within because
Mm.
well, we've both had tough backgrounds, haven't we? Really tough. And we're not unique. There's loads of us all gone through the same. And you can't look outside of yourself to find answers. It's got to come from within. And I think this golden age will come from within. Like you said, the collective consciousness, once we start to manifest it ourselves of
Yeah.
what we want and not give away our empowerment to governments or TV or newspapers or mainstream media, create our own future with our own soul tribe. There's other soul tribes. We can't all be together because we've got different objectives, but we are stronger together rather than being picked off one at a time. Because that's what the collective or the cabal want. Isolate us, pick us off, feed off of our loosh and our fear and our worries, because that to them is food.
Yeah, it's fuel.
It is fuel for them. So the more we ignore them, and the one thing that really infuriates them more than anything else is when you take the piss out of them and laugh, because they can't handle that. Because if you love them, you're with them. If you hate them, they steal your energy and they feed off of it. But when you couldn't care a toss about them, they really don't like that, because you don't have any attachment. They can't get the hooks in, and that really infuriates them.
Yeah.
That's the
I've also noticed that, and I think this is a little bit of the work that I've done on myself, but I think it's also to do with the energies where, because we've definitely shifted timelines or energies, however you want to describe it. But I'm definitely more standing in my power and speaking my truth.
Yeah.
And here's an example of that. I was on the phone to the dentist the other day, and the receptionist, was quite arsy with me because she thought I was misunderstanding what the situation was with appointments, yada yada. So I actually turned around and said, "Do you know what? There's absolutely no need for you to be speaking to me the way you are, because I'm aware of how this system works. I work in the NHS myself." And all of a sudden, boom, she was nice as pie. Now, I would never have been able to do that, but it just came out naturally with no, like, sometimes you get that little gut feeling. You're like, oops, I shouldn't have said that. But I've been speaking my truth so much more. And I think it's a little bit of the work that I'm doing. And I think are like literally telling people to F off and stuff as well, because they are. Like Linda made me laugh. Linda in our tribe from Australia. She
Yeah,
came onto Zoom.
I'd like to talk to her at some stage, because
Oh, she's
only
lovely.
once have I spoke to her, and that was for
Yeah,
about 20 minutes when she first joined us,
yeah,
because Alan and I went together just for support for each other, because it was very early days, because we'd only just started. And Alan said, "You want to join?" I said, "Yeah." And we actually did that on a Monday morning.
yeah. I
It's the
think we
only
need to.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we should organise something, because, like, she came on briefly one night. I was in the bath, so I didn't turn my video on. Um, but Leslie was on, and Linda came on, and so did Kirsty, I think. And she was hilarious, but she was basically saying the same thing. She was like, "I just don't give a shit anymore." She's saying, "Just told my neighbour she's having trouble with her neighbours for a long time, hasn't she? Like something to do with the drive or something." And she was like, "Just tell her to fuck off." Just like, oh, she's amazing. So we'll have to organise more meetings where she can join in, because
that would be
it's the
nice.
time difference. It's really difficult. And that's another thing that they've done is this nonsense with time, time, whatever it's called. The different times in the States as well. Like, it's just ridiculous. They've done that on purpose so we can't all communicate. But we've got ways around that. We just stay awake all night.
That's right. Interesting enough, there's no time difference in China. It's a fairly big country. It's
Oh,
got a
is
massive
it?
population, almost on a par with India, and yet they're
Mm.
all on the same timeline.
Yeah, well, they're
When I
completely
say timeline, I'm
trolled.
talking about hours in the day.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not talking about dimensional timelines.
No, I think they're all on one timeline in China right now, and that's
Yeah,
not a very nice timeline, really. But yeah.
Well, from
So
what I can understand, I think it's the Red Dragons. I think they will eventually take over the communist dictatorship. There's
um,
rumblings in the background.
and
So
what else do where else do we see the red dragon run? Where else do we see the red dragon everywhere?
in Wales,
Exactly. Boom.
I've always said there's something special about Wales.
There's something
You know, as a
magnificent.
foreigner and as a Londoner, I know this is wacky and it's crazy, but yeah, on a flat Earth plane, I still think we have tectonic plate displacement. I still do believe that. And as the crust shifts, we know, well, I truly believe that Atlantis was in the Atlantic. I'm almost convinced of that. And I think that Wales, because of its rock structure and its geology, never belonged to England. It's never part of it. I'm going back probably millions of years now. And when we spoke about Poseidon 12,000 to 10,800 years ago, the last sinking of Atlantis, I think the residue of that was Wales.
Mm.
Because there's very sacred land in Wales. And if you look down in Taryn, where not far from where Michael lives, there's petrified forest there on the beach. When you get a very, very low tide, there's petrified wood stumps. So it
Wow.
was tropical forest at one time. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Oh, I
I
didn't know
still
that.
think that Wales was part of Atlantis.
Yeah.
I've
And
always
there's
thought
some
that.
very,
That's why the culture's so different. Okay, it's more Celtic, and obviously in England it's more Anglo-Saxon Danish. The Vikings raided before the Romans, and it's a totally different culture.
yeah.
But
There's some very,
I
very
think
special
Wales was.
people in Wales. Very special people in Wales.
Well, I'm
And I
looking at
think,
one right now.
oh, but I think there's going to be even more special people in Wales quite soon. And I can't say any more than that, but I think that you're right. I think there is a reason why people are being drawn to Wales
Yeah, I
for
feel that.
for what personal reasons, but on a soul level, it's really interesting that that we all kind of live in the same, especially you guys, because you didn't know each other before you met on CC, did you?
No,
But you all, I mean, I'm a bit further out, but it's like what, an hour away, and Neil's a little bit further again, another half hour. But most of us, apart from the Kirstys, but they're going to move to Wales. We're going to make them. No, we're not even going to make them. They will move to Wales. Um, but I think it's fascinating how we are in that little cluster in the same area. I'm talking about the original group of us, not, obviously we've expanded now. We've got people from England and
well,
elsewhere.
if you look at the very early days, even before you joined CC, one of the very earliest, although Michael set it up, he was the first coordinator. But look at the work that James has put in, and he's a Welshman, born and bred in Wrexham. And
Yeah,
I know he's got his own issues with his health, but what a beautiful soul he is.
yeah, of course he
He is
is. He's
special.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all love
I'm
him.
Yes, we do. Can't wait for a big squeeze. He's coming Saturday, isn't he? Is he staying at
Yeah.
yours?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
picking him up Friday afternoon. No, going back to this soul tribe, I think Alan's with me on this one. I know Alan bases it on flat earth, which is fine. That's great. We're all on the same board on that one, although people think we're nutcases, but the truth will come out eventually. And I think, I don't know why I say this. We're going back to Wales again. There's something in the rocks, there's something in the energy. There's something in the frequency. And me personally, I'm trying to build the East of England because we got Lisa that joins us regularly. We got Barry. If I had the money, I'd go over and stay there because I used to live there. I used to
Yeah.
live in West Beach, and I think Jeff lives there, still lives there. And I'd like to build that as a family and bring us all together so that,
Yeah.
on a Wednesday night, there might be 30 or 40 of us.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing stopping you from. Would you drive that far, or is it a bit too far for you to drive?
I do find it difficult driving long distance now. I get
Yeah.
tired quick. Although I can see all right because I'm long sighted. The only reason I got glasses on because the laptop's on my lap. If I took my glasses off, you're blurry. That's because I'm long sighted.
Well, I'm usually blurry to you on a Saturday, aren't I? When we have our meetups.
Well, after a 12-hour drinking session, I can't see anything at all. It's just
I
but good
know.
fun.
I well, as you know, I don't drink when I come up, and when I did that one time, well, yeah, we had other things going on that day, but this Saturday, I think Neil might be picking me up, so there may be a risk that I might have a cheeky vino or two, but I'm so slowly. I'm not used to drinking alcohol anymore, so I can't take it slowly. But I'm so excited for those of you for the audience. We're talking about our soul tribe. We meet up every sort of 6 weeks,
Yeah.
um, near Ron's house, and we've got two beautiful, well, three. We've got two lovely friends of ours, Kirsty's and their daughter Ayla, live in Scotland, and they came down not long ago and surprised us, which was amazing. It was just like we thought we were talking to them on Zoom, and then they just appeared through the door, and it was the most magical moment of my life. Like I've got goosebumps talking about it. But they're coming down this Saturday. Well, they're coming on Friday, and we're all meeting up on Saturday. And I'm so excited to spend time with everyone and see them and have some fun. And we let our hair down a little bit because normally I've got a time scale. I got to drive
Yeah.
back, but this time I haven't, which is amazing. So I can sort of relax a little bit more. And I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited,
I
and I just love
I
my song tribe so much.
I
I love
think
you all.
I think that our meeting this Saturday, I think it's going to be pretty special
Mm.
because I know we got the Christmas meal. There's only 8 of us because people are working. There's nothing you can do about that, and I don't think it's going to be any more than 8. But it will be a long session in the pub. We'll enjoy it, but I think this one, although we got a time restriction, having our meal and then getting into the club next door for our meeting, I think it's going to be special because to
Yeah,
have 12 of us for lunch, that's a biggie, and that's why I think we should make that a Christmas one.
yeah, definitely.
Get the Christmas hats out and the Christmas crackers and just have fun.
Can I just quickly show you my Christmas tree? Now, I never normally put my Christmas tree up this early, but I don't procrastinate anymore, as you know. Thank you. You're welcome. So I've actually put my tree up. Now, my tree is like a work of art for me. It usually takes me about a week, but I'll show you now. Ready? Oh, you
Oh,
can't
that's
really see
beautiful.
it.
Yeah, lovely. That's quite a tall one as well, isn't it?
Well, it's not. You can't really see it properly from here, but oh look, I got the flowers in it. It's quite
Wow.
a tall one. It's about well, I don't know. It's taller than me, which isn't hard, I know, but I've got myself into the festive spirit. I mean, a lot of people don't agree with Christmas, but I don't care. I love Christmas. I just love the lights, and I love my family being around me. And all right, we shouldn't indulge in naughty food, but hey, I'm going to admit it because I'm going to speak my truth. But I love having a pig out and a
Why
few
not?
few glasses of Baileys.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can afford to get away with it because you've lost over a stone, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
So,
I've
so
lost.
you know, one
May as
week
well pile
over
it back on.
Christmas and New Year, have a pig out. I'm sure you'll lose it quickly in January. So go for it. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, I'm so excited for Saturday, and I'm just wondering, should we make it short and sweet and maybe wrap it up? What time is it?
No idea.
10:34. What do you think? We've kind of like not had a topic this week, but we still wanted to have a chat, didn't we, Ron? So I think
I do enjoy it because it's not often we have this special time, is it? And we are soulmates, you know that, don't you? And very, very close bond. And yeah, I've always said it. I love you to bits. You know that. I know you think the world of me as well.
I do
And
love you.
what are we going to do in the next lifetime?
That's for us to know and no one to find out. It's a surprise.
We'll shoot off for a sneaky.
I'll just be causing mischief, playing in the woods and swinging off trees and getting
Absolutely.
muddy and jumping in muddy puddles, doing kid stuff because we never did that as a kid. So we'll do it. We'll
Yeah,
do it on Saturday.
absolutely. Now, just to finish off, yeah, for the people out there, it may be a bit of a disappointment because we've just general chit chat and we're just being ourselves. And going back to these timelines again and dimensional consciousness, I think we are building the new world. We are building the golden age. And that's why, if you keep away from the mainstream media, keep away from the newspapers, don't buy into the fear, don't buy into the bullshit and the lies and the propaganda, keep away from it because you'll find you'll be so much more happier. And we build the new world not out there, we build it within each and every one of us. And when we reach that critical mass, then we'll have the golden age. And it could be within the next 2 or 3 weeks if enough people did it.
Yeah,
But
raising the roof.
I still go for 2026, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
And
Well, why don't we just manifest it for the new year?
why not?
Happy New Year to us. Ooh, as we're flying around the realm, run, hold me down by my ankle. Right, behave, Lizzy.
That's it.
Right,
So we're
okay.
going to wrap it up. And lots
It's
of love
been a
to you, Lizzy.
pleasure.
Yeah, I'll see you Wednesday on Zoom, and
Yes.
I'll give you a big hug at the dinner table.
I'm so excited.
I'll try not knock the table over.
Oh, bless you. I'm looking forward to it. Well, shall we say thank you to our audience and thank you
Yeah,
to our soul tribe as always, because without
yeah.
you, there wouldn't be us. And
No,
we
very
love you
true.
all dearly.
And let's
And
build this soul tribe even bigger, and let's go right around the world with it.
let's go on a
All
massive pub crawl.
over.
I mean, pub crawl.
And the
All right.
last word from me. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for whoever wants to listen. And a big thank you to our soul tribe. Yeah, because there's so much love there, isn't there? And the greatest love for me is to have the honour and the privilege and the love of the people in Wales. I can't end
Here's
on
to
a better note
Wales.
than that. Yeah,
Let's drink to Wales. Welsh water.
yeah. And the red dragon.
Filtered, of course. And all down my face like a dribbling mess. Oh, well. Okay, well,
That's it.
we will be back very soon with another chat, maybe a bit more constructive next time, but
Yeah,
who cares?
we're trying to get something really constructive next time in the
Yeah.
new year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to everybody out there, a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year to you all. It was just a general chat today and a bit of fun. So we're trying to do something a bit more down to, well, a bit deeper.
We'll bring the naughty elves on next time. Have a wonderful Christmas, everybody, and thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
I'm just about to stop recording now. Bye bye.